Hey Eurovision fans, Olly Alexander has been internally selected to represent the UK in Eurovision 2024 with his song Dizzy. I'm going to check out the music video and give you my analysis of the song and the lyrics, and then we'll imagine how this could be potentially staged in Malmö, Sweden. We'll talk about how the UK have been turning their woes around in Eurovision recently by looking at their 10-year record, and then we'll talk about whether this can get top 10 or even win by looking at the odds and how the community has reacted to Dizzy. So let's kiki. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Tom. I'm an Irish Eurovision analyst, and you can find all of this stuff on my Eurovision channel. So I'm super excited to see this. I always look forward to the UK entry every single year. It's something I genuinely am excited about. It doesn't always go super well. We have had some times where the UK entry has been released and yeah, it didn't totally work, but I'm always excited to see how the UK are going to do. Me and so many other Euro fans want them to succeed in Eurovision, and lately they've really turned a corner. You know, Sam Ryder coming second in 2022. May Muller last year came second last, but she was still amazing entry. And then in Junior Eurovision, they've come 5th and 4th. So really excited with this new enthusiasm and fire that the UK has had. And we had this very early announcement of an internal selection in Olly Alexander. I actually did a video about him already where I checked out his performance that he did with Elton John, which was amazing. So the song is written by Olly and also Danny Harl, who recently just worked with Dua Lipa on her latest album. So this is a big time producer. Also, after doing that video, a lot of people advised me to go watch It's a Sin, which is the TV series that Olly Alexander did about the AIDS epidemic in the 80s and 90s in the UK. I completely binge watched in, I think, 2 days. He's a really fantastic actor. So we have a music video, which I'm going to react to today. I'm definitely going to get visually and audio copyrighted. There's nothing I can do about that. I will put the original version up onto my Patreon and I will cut out as little as possible. Okay, this is Olly Alexander singing Dizzy. Wanna know my secret bang? Oh my God, come on Olly. Come on Olly, I'm rooting for him. Come on Olly, you can do it, but... Ooh. Ooh, very cinematic opening. Ooh, got a bit of a bop going on. Lovely, that bassy thing. I'm already thinking this is gonna stand out a little bit so far this year. Voice sounds lovely. Lovely. It's kind of nostalgic. I'm getting some like 90s noughties vibes, but in a good way. Styling looks lovely as well. Ooh. Ooh, yeah, it is nostalgic. I love this concept in this one room that's spinning. It looks so gorgeous. I think you could do this on stage as well. Oh yeah, that beat coming in. Lovely. Oh, look at this energy he's giving. Oh, he's serving face and body. He's really into this. He's serious. The jump from the room into the playground, amazing. This is gorgeous music video. It's lovely. It's very understated. It's cool. I like it. Oh wow. His energy is sublime. And this choreography is just gorgeous. And the spinning concept. I love how kind of smooth it is. It's not too loud. It's kind of cool and held back. He's the superstar, he really is. Like, he's selling the crap out of this. His paycheck is due, his rent is due. Oh. Oh, lovely breakdown. Oh, I like the talking bit. Those ad-libs in the background are lovely as well. Little bit of rain. Oh, giving us 90s boy band. Obsessed. Those spinning platforms, I think that's what their staging is going to be. It's going to look so cool. Oh, this is so... Oh, this is fantastic. I love the electronic. It sounds really British synth pop. Wow. I really like that. Do you know what? I think my biggest surprise from the whole thing, it's a little bit less like loud bam in your face than I thought. It's a little bit more restrained, which I'm not saying is a negative thing at all, because I actually think it comes across as kind of like cool and a bit suave, that it's a bit more kind of like mellow, chill, dancey pop. And it's not so bubblegum. It doesn't feel like Love From Above, toxic Britney Spears. It's a bit more like older, wiser, but still a bit of a badass. So I love the vibe of it. That music video is fantastic. One of the best music videos we've had this year. Very clear concept of dizzy. You're making me dizzy, your love, you're driving me crazy. And this spinning thing. They actually did a good job of not making it like headache inducing, because if you're going to do spinny, you don't want to make it so fast that actually it's nauseous to look at. So they did a really clever job there making the spin, but not like, oh, I need to go get sick in the toilet. Tableaus were so crisp and clean. I love it in the room. And his fashion was lovely. I love that shirt that he was wearing that looked ripped. I was almost getting like a 2050 vibe, like a little bit Blade Runner at the start. But then there were also some like nostalgic things in the room as well. So feeling timeless, spinning around. He was just killing it there. His facial expressions, that intensity, like just, he's hunting for the kill. The way he's contorting his body up against the wall. Just really, this is clever now, because if I was in the British delegation, I'd be like, let us milk every single milliliter of acting capabilities out of this person, because he is really, really able to act, and most people can't act. Let's just be real, they are not able to pull off that intensity, that being a character. So go for it. If this is your secret special card, use it twice, 3 times, 4 times, use it as many times as you can. So I'm really excited to see that the British delegation have identified what his strong points are. The song doesn't sound difficult to sing. I think some people were concerned about his live vocals. I don't think he's a bad singer at all. I think he's good, but he's not like Adele, and he's not Celine Dion, basically. Most people aren't Celine Dion. Well, everyone is not Celine Dion apart from Celine Dion. But he's got other strengths, and they're really utilizing here. The song is written in a comfortable range. Last year there were problems with Mae Muller in that the song that she wrote herself a song, but the song was kind of a little bit out of her vocal range for her to sing comfortably while she's moving, and she was a little bit nervous as well. This feels more considered of what's going to happen on stage. Okay, I need to write myself a song that I'm going to be able to sing when I'm moving around, because I want to be ambitious with my acting on the stage. This is coming from someone who really wants to be in Eurovision, who has studied it, they've watched it. This is not someone just looking for a little bit of a big break. Obviously, he would like a big break. There's nothing wrong with wanting a big break in Eurovision, but there's a difference between people who are literally looking at it like a business deal and people who are like, okay, I liked about my big break, but also this is an amazing contest that I love. And he's definitely in this category, and I can feel that in the amount of time that went into the visuals and these kind of like little strategies I can already see appearing with the singing, coming up with the staging concept already of the spinning. Let's calm down. I'm going to go for my silent second listen because I was very excited. I probably missed a lot of things. Oh, the lyrics are lovely. Yes. Oh, he's serving so much beautiful synth. Oh, wow. That is absolutely fabulous. Oh, man. Oh, God. He really just murdered that. He needs to go to jail because he killed that performance. I love how smooth and understated the song is. That electronic synth production in the background is so cool and slick, especially in the second verse where it sounds like a synth organ. I love that bit where he gets up into like a crab bridge. Just so much artistry in his movement. He's been watching America's Next Top Model and he was taking notes, and he's like, I'm doing every single pose, broken down doll, everything, all the smizing, everything that they do in America's Next Top Model. I love how the song feels like he's married modern sounds with a synthy 70s 80s feel. I can feel the elements of both of them, but it sounds really fresh. So exciting to be a UK Eurovision fan right now. Ireland's hopefully going through a little bit of a renaissance now. Maybe Ireland and UK together can not suck at Eurovision. This is the 5th Eurovision entry from the UK in a row that I like. 3 adult and 2 junior. Fantastic. Okay, let's go through all the different aspects of it. First, let's go through the lyrics. Dizzy, there's a place where we break the line, make it a circle redefined. My God. That opening line already, one of my ultimate pet peeves with the UK and Ireland, because we are native English speakers, is when we have shitty lyrics. There's no excuse for us to have shitty lyrics because it's our native language. If you're a foreigner and you don't speak English that well, you're not going to be able to come up with poetry that works or know all the words, etc. UK, Ireland, no excuses. Our lyrics should be some of the best every single year in English. Already, There's a place where we break the line, make it a circle redefined. I absolutely love it. I've never heard that lyric before. It sounds so cool. Make it a circle redefined. So he's talking about have like a circle, you break the line and then it becomes like a different shape. Amazing. It's not that difficult to write something new if you are an artist. No love from above, no fire and desire if you're an English and Irish artist. It should be forbidden. This is why I get so angry at some of the acts in Irish National Final when they're talking about the most generic crap. Beautiful gardens, eternal flowers, you know the way, so take me there. Lovely. Won't you make me dizzy from your kisses? Will you take my hand and spin me round and round until the moment never ends? Really, really clear concept. This thing of new love, being with someone the first time, that dizzy feeling you feel you can't stop thinking about anyone else. And he's just come up with some new words and imagery for it that I haven't heard before. I'm really in love with this. Round and round till the moment never ends. Make me dizzy from your kisses. Will you take my hand and spin me? Take me back to the beginning again. Take me back to the beginning. So we're getting the idea now of this spiral that's kind of continuing around and around, or like a spiral that just goes on forever, like a kaleidoscope. Lovely. Pulling me close, I feel a stillness in the air. Time is frozen, all memories lost. There isn't an end, there isn't a start. I don't want to stop, I can't go too far. There isn't an end, there isn't a start. I love this real idea of like a continuous like Escher style painting of that we're going round and it's continuing and this like sensation is not going away. Really simple concept and it's very fun as well. And it also sounds good as a song title, like when it pops up, Olly Alexander, Dizzy. That's exciting. Instead of seeing like your love is a desire. No one's gonna see love is a desire and go, oh, I'm so excited to hear what this song is about. But when you see her dizzy, you're like, oh, why is he dizzy? What's dizzy? That's strategy. And this is the strategy that the UK and Irish delegations should have every single year because we have such a huge advantage with language and it's so rarely used, it drives me crazy. Look, there's not a lot of lyrics here. There's only around 15 lines, but all of them have a tie-in to the theme. There's no cliches here. I can't hear any phrases that are repeated in multiple songs. The theme is really clear, focused direction. I'm not saying these lyrics are like mind-blowing. I'm not going to go join a monastery because I read the lyrics to Dizzy. This is a pop song. I love hearing the ones that are like really deep, like The Code with Switzerland. Fantastic. But I also like songs that are just a little bit lighter, talking about love, but doing it in an original way. Just thinking a little bit outside the box, spending a little time. How am I going to come up with a new concept that can also tie in with the visual? It just feels organic to him as well. Okay, let's talk about the potential staging in this for Eurovision. So I've already spoken about how I think they're really utilizing his acting abilities and they definitely need to continue with that. I think he's a dancer as well. I don't know what his qualifications are, but some of the moves in that music video were fantastic. Again, that backwards crab looked really cool. When he was in between the walls, probably pretty clear that that music video concept is going to be on the stage. I imagine there's going to be a big platform that's going to be spinning around to some degree. And we know that the UK loves their big props because they had one last year and they had the one the year before. I love it. It's so extra. And the BBC's got that budget. They got that money. So they're just like, yeah, props. There's going to be a prop here, I'm pretty sure. And I like that they're going to get him on the stage. I liked that bedroom. That looked really cool. And we had something similar with Armenia in 2022. Because it was in Italy 2022, where she was in a bedroom and then she broke out the other side, and I thought that looked super cool as well. So I actually really like that idea. It's just about then making the camera angles work, and then is it going to be him on his own, or are other people going to come into his bedroom and dance with him? I'd like to definitely have some moments with him on his own, and I think maybe some dancers coming in will be cool. I feel like they've already got their concept. I feel like when him and Danny were writing the song, they were already thinking, okay, how can we put in wording that fits to a staging concept? I think this has been planned very early back. So I have a lot of faith that they're going to pull this off this year. I like the colors that were in the video. It was more like browns and nature colors. It was more kind of browns and grays and hazier colors. So I like that as well. That's different from everybody else. I think actually Loreen last year stood out because she had this sandy brown beige color palette that was very, very unique. I think staging, the main thing is going to be him. This is the superpower. That I really like the song, but it's not as like wow as some of the other songs. Like The Code is really different and striking. This is a little bit more familiar musically. I don't think there's anyone who's going to listen to this and go like, I've never heard that before. It has got that nostalgia element. It does have new elements as well. I think if you want to win Eurovision or be in the top, you have to be the best at something, whether it be the song or the excitement. And I think that he can arguably be the best performer this year in terms of theatrics, bringing the energy, that believability to the performance, and just getting totally immersed in him. I'd like the cameras to stay close up to him and this prop. I don't want too many audience things. Maybe towards the end, I think it's good to, you do have to show the audience at some point, because otherwise it feels too much like a music video. And we saw that with Benjamin Ingrosso in 2018, that really backfired for him. But maybe go really immersive at the start, really get the sense that you're in his head, you're in his weird, dizzy world. And then maybe towards the end, we can get some cuts of the audience for like a big finale with some pyro or something like that. Love the breakdown where he's doing the spoken word. I think that's a staging moment as well. What's going to happen during that? Is he going to be hanging upside down? Is he going to be spinning around? Is he going to be on the floor? Or Dance is going to come on and do something to him? They've created these opportunities for themselves in how they've constructed the song. Such a pleasure to see how excited I am about the UK compared to everything before 2022, when it was more like, will the UK send anything remotely salvageable? There was no, it wasn't excitement. It was more like, can the UK not come last? I'm not thinking about this, can this not come last? I'm thinking, can this do much, much better? I suppose they can make some like frantic things with the lighting, again, to give this sense of confusion. We saw that really well used by Czechia in 22. Incredible light show for the pop drop of Lights Off. I actually genuinely trust the UK delegation. I think they're making good decisions. So who are the UK in Eurovision? Wow, gosh. How much time do you have? How many stress tablets are you able to take? The UK are actually really similar to Ireland. If you saw my What's Wrong with Ireland video, you can take a lot of the problems in that and apply it to the UK. A public that is kind of a little bit delusional, don't really understand the contest, putting the blame in the wrong places. Too many artists and songs that weren't charting in the national chart. Pre-Sam Ryder, it was a very long time since any of the songs had actually gotten to a decent place in the charts. I think Blue got to like top 20, but other than that, nobody else was charting even close. So a lot of similar problems to Ireland, but then different in the fact that the budget's a lot bigger and also they're big five, so they're automatically getting to the final. So if Ireland were to send a kind of mediocre song, it would not qualify. When the UK sends a mediocre song, it comes last. So kind of this more extreme effect from sending something that's just not super strong. So I think the UK does have a higher standard, because Ireland, if we send something crap, it gets eliminated and then no one really thinks about it in the final. Whereas in the UK, it's kind of front and center. You've come last. You sucked this year. So just a bit more pressure, I think, on the British delegation, and obviously handling that bigger budget is a double-edged sword, because you have more expectations, but then also you can do more, as we saw with that fantastic prop from Sam Ryder in 22. So if we look at the UK's 10-year results, we can see they are ranked 20th out of all 44 countries who competed in that time period, but keep in mind that they can come lower than 26th most years, 25 some years, 27th one year. So they do have that like safety buffer. Realistically, I think if the UK had to qualify, they'd probably be down in the 30s, 32, 33 in terms of ratings. Even with that great result in 22 from Sam Ryder, there's a lot of very weak results there. You can see 24th in 2015, 24th in 2016, 24th in 18, and then last in 2019, last in 21, second last last year. I think that second last place last year was actually a success. She did well. She got a top 10 single. We loved her. She was so beloved in the community. But the other ones, yeah, I think they were deserved low rankings. I don't feel like there was anyone there who's super robbed. I felt like 2017 was a great song and it got 15th, which is a good placing. Yeah, I just think the UK's just had this massive turnaround. I think this is the start of their renaissance. Everything seems really organized this year and planned. It's not this last minute frantic flurry that may kind of felt like last year. It was all very last minute. Creating an environment where the British artist is succeeding, and that's making it more appealing for other artists to come in the future. It feels like a snowball effect. I'm not just saying that because it's snowing in Dublin today. Things are going to get easier for the British delegation. They're making their lives easier, making the British artists feel comfortable and safe, that they're not going to look stupid, they're not going to be embarrassed in any way. The UK doing well in the contest is really important because the biggest viewing figures come from the UK. 10, 11, 12 million plus. People in the UK really love Eurovision. They like to pretend like they don't. I lived in the UK for 7 years. I know the culture extremely well. So having them tune in to someone who's really good with a great song, I think this is going to chart. And this year they've been very strategic. They released the song at midnight I think, on the Friday, which is the earliest you can release it. So they're maximizing the amount of streams that it can get to give it the best chart placing. They want this to be top 10 before the contest. But if they can chart now and then also chart after Eurovision as well, wow, they're going to make their lives so much easier next year. They're going to have people knocking at the door. I want this opportunity. The perception of the contest is changing in the UK, and I'm so happy. Okay, I'm back and I'm caffeinated, and now we're going to talk about how could this do in the Eurovision final. Of course, the UK is part of the big five, so they automatically qualify to the final. So first of all, let's talk about the juries. How is the jury going to like this? I don't think this song is very divisive, so I don't think any of the jurors are going to put it last, because it doesn't have anything that'll rub up the wrong way. It's very easy listening, it's kind of catchy, it's well produced. So I don't think there's anything here that will piss anybody off and go, oh, I hate that, I'll put it last. I do think there's going to be a lot of divisive stuff in the final this year. We definitely have a lot more loud songs. Could that be the carry effect? I don't know. But as a jury, I think will respect the construction, the songwriting, the production of this song. I think it's very high quality. I wouldn't be surprised if this maybe did get a 12 or 2. If you're kind of sitting in people's middles and then 1 or 2 people put you first, second, third, then you can get a 12 points from somebody. We know that the jurors' average age is kind of 45 to 50-ish. And I think that that age group is definitely going to hear the references to the 80s, the 90s, Pet Shop Boys, this kind of nostalgia feel. So maybe that might be very familiar for them, and that might help with the jury as well. So I'm not expecting this to be a jury winner. I'm expecting it to do pretty decently though, maybe somewhere between, I don't know, 8th and 14th. Again, a lot of it's going to depend on a lot of unknowns. What does the staging look like? If this looks really incredible, then that's going to elevate a lot and the jury are going to love it. Obviously, he needs to nail his vocals. I think they've done a very clever job at picking a song that's in a comfortable range for him. Maybe he can try and get a big note in at some point. I think the British delegation is going to be aware of the jury note concept. He has got a very pretty singing voice. He just doesn't have a very large range. In terms of the televote, I'm expecting them to have some crazy staging. That music video suggests to me that they're going to go for a spinning platform prop. It's going to have a story. It's going to have a wow moment in the visual aspect. I think there's going to be pyro. We know that the BBC's got money and they're not afraid to spend and put a little bit of gold and silver into their staging. I'm thinking that people are going to be really entertained at home seeing this in the televote. San Martin 22 got points from everybody in Europe outside of former Yugoslav countries. And that wasn't a particularly groundbreaking song either. It was kind of smooth and steady and stable in the same way that Dizzy is. So that won people over with the rock solo and the staging concept. And I think that the UK is going that big this year. I'm kind of expecting the televote and the jury to be relatively even at this point. Another thing with the jury is that if this is like a moment of sanity in a final that is totally and utterly crazy, wild, eccentric, avant-garde, that can really work in his favor as well. If people just hear something a little bit more radio-friendly, familiar, accessible, the jury might go, actually, I liked that normal song between all this other stuff that's way more out there. And there's also people in the televote who might say, this is more safe and standard and familiar. As long as it doesn't get too boring or drag, it's very important that the stage show is really engaging and exciting still, even if it's a familiar thing. So with that in mind, how do I think this is going to do? Well, let's start from the bottom up. Do I think this is going to be bottom 5? I don't think this is going to come bottom 5. Now, let's talk about Mae Muller last year, because people were very excited and the song was very warmly received and she was very popular, and it still came second last. The staging show had amazing visuals. I loved their color story. The main problem with Mae was the singing. There was no power in the voice. I think she was very nervous, a lot of pressure being the host entry. You couldn't really hear the vocals. You couldn't really pick out the melody as well. And then the big note at the end didn't come through. So at the end of the day, what we saw in the music video, what we saw on the stage were different. I've got more confidence than what we see with Olly is gonna look like the final package in Eurovision. I think the final package will be even better. It'll elevate. And I think they've learned their mistake from last year. So I really don't think this is going to come bottom 5. I can already think of a couple songs that are going to pad the bottom 5 to protect the UK. The next step is, can it get to the left side of the scoreboard, top 13? If the staging is really good, he has to have a flawless vocal, and there has to be a bit of a wow moment in the staging. So we need something to happen, which I think we're going to get with this spinning platform, and a moment in that spinning platform that makes me go, oh, that's clever. Good job, Olly. That's the type of thing that's going to put this over onto the left side of the scoreboard. Can it come top 10? I think coming top 10 is a little bit about what's around it. If this gets a good draw towards the end of the show and everything around it is just chaos, and then Olly is this kind of moment of kind of sanity with all this amazing stuff either side of it, that contrast can really accentuate that this is a smooth, steady, radio-friendly song. And the jury might go bonkers for that, and they might give this a lot of points. Can this get top 5 and higher? I gotta be real, this year's very, very, very strong. I'm not getting top 5 yet with the information I have. If they want top 5, they're gonna have to really come for it. They need to be Sam Ryder plus. Sam Ryder had the surprise guitar solo at the end. The standard's going up and up, and people are bringing packages that have so many dimensions to them. The top 5 already is so stacked. If you want to be part of that, you need to be A+ in several different categories. But yeah, it's gonna be tough. Can this win at this point? I don't think this is a winning song personally. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not putting this on the pile of songs that have absolutely no chance. I think it's a small possibility, but there's a lot of ifs. There is an element of luck in Eurovision. Who's around you? What year are you in? You know, if Arcade and Amar Polish Deutsch had been in the same year, one of them wouldn't have won. That's just the way it is. There is a bit of luck in what year are you in. Are you in a year with a lot of winners? For me, a victory is left side of the scoreboard. I think that should be the goal for the UK delegation. Put on a show that the UK can be proud of. Get the song to top 10 in the charts before Eurovision would be awesome. To number 1 after Eurovision would also be awesome. And momentum for next year being really strong again. Let's have a look in the odds and see if they've changed it all. So the UK were already pretty high. They have been as high as number 1. I think he was sitting around 7th before the song released. And actually he's still 7th. So that's pretty good. The way the odds work at this point in the season when there's not a lot of betting is it does take you a while to sink down if the song is overrated. Okay, how is this received in the community? And this is entered into the scoreboard in 12th position out of 27 songs. So that's not a bad placing. We do know that kind of upbeat pop songs tend to do a little bit better on the Eurovision scoreboard, so possibly the points are a little bit inflated. Considering how strong this year is, I don't think that's bad at all. Look, if you told me that the UK were going to come 12th this year, I would be very happy. Considering that the UK have had 6 bottom 5 finishes in the last 10 years, anything above 15th gives them their second best result in the last 10 years. Okay, so that's what I thought about Olly singing Dizzy for the United Kingdom. What did you think? Leave me a comment in the comment section down below. No new donations on Buy Me Coffee or PayPal, but if you want to support the channel, I'll leave links to you in the description down below. I am a full-time content creator, so your donations support the channel. And of course, thank you to my patrons all over the world for patronizing my channel. On my Patreon, you can get the original audio and visuals when I get copyrighted. You can be part of our My Eurovision Scoreboard group. You can get some early previews and some updates on upcoming videos, so go check that out if you're a fan. But of course, thank you so much just for watching, and maybe leaving a like and maybe sharing the video. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in another Eurovision analysis video very soon. Goodbye.